Hi, now we on part 5, and this is the consolidation section of the entire lecture session. We were looking at the internal communication of the employees within the PR setup, in the public relations setup. So now we're looking at the formal communication and informal communication, etc. But we also looked at that communication takes place upwards and downwards, and also diagonally, where it's crisscross information being shared amongst employees within the business. We looked at all the aspects as to when and how employees can look or get information from. This module 4 concentrated on much. So, success employee communication requires that a healthy organization culture exists, respecting and trusting each other's culture, their value systems, their belief systems, sound communication policies, who they need to talk to, who do they need to give feedback to, professional implementation, because that is where we know that we need to be able to distinguish between formal and informal communication, understanding employee communication preferences and aptitudes. Why? Some people look at the notice board, but people like to scrutinize their emails. People like to just get a message on their WhatsApp chat group. But the preferences needs sometimes to be time managed, because you do not just want to sit the whole time on a video conference call, or you don't want to sit on your emails the entire day. What else? Employees' collective perception should include policies, organization structure, leadership, values, and the things and the way the things get done. Why? Rules and regulations are there as guidelines as to how you must act in certain situations. When instructions and information is disseminated, you need to know what is guided or is guiding you to act in a certain way. So the structure must be there. We've done in module 2, I believe, organization structures, where we talk about the line structure, the functional structure, the matrix structure. And I can remember how clearly I was touching the balls like piano riffs in the matrix. So you need to know the different organization structures, or how your organization is structured. Leadership, who's your supervisor, and what kind of leadership is mentoring the specific organization. Why I say mentoring is because a leader needs to guide and needs to motivate employees in order to always get the employee to follow. Values. Values are the beliefs and what standards you hold dear to the mind, heart, and soul. The way things get done and how decisions are made. Are you participative, or are you an authoritarian culture, like we've explained? There we get the sum up again. Authoritarian being centralized, and participative cultures meaning getting everybody on board, involved in decision making. PR and the workplace culture. Yes, public relations contribute to the productive workplace culture. If you understand each other, you trust each other, you work well together. The best workplace culture should provide feelings of confidence, openness, candor, satisfaction, involvement, pride, and supportiveness. You are allowed to say or bring your opinion or give your input without feeling threatened or feeling that you are going to be victimized, that you feel free and be trusted. PR and employee communication brings about promoting and understanding and the awareness of the goals of the business, interpreting what management wants, fulfilling employee information needs. There the transparency comes in again. Providing channels for two-way communication. You go, what is the word that they say? You will lose the plot if you start talking to yourself. So there must always be a two-way communication. Encouraging favorable attitudes and increased productivity. Sources of employees' respect most: the immediate supervisor, small group meetings, top executives, annual reports, and the bulletin board and orientation, and the program that you go, the plant on page 73, plant tours, induction, meeting, forums, management and supervisor seminars, industrial relations, etc. We spoke about the unions and the grapevines. The other media that you can get your information from is listed as follows: publications, videos, emails, etc. Attend to employee interest. Research shows that employees' interests rank as follows. They would firstly want to know what is the organization's plans for the future, because that gives you a sense of security. And then lastly, I'm going to skip all 2 to 6. Number 7, how individual job fits into the organization. That's lastly on the mind, because remember what I said, you were chosen. So you know where your place is. Your place is in the organization. Content in the employee media, it needs to be clear, it needs to be authentic, and 50% about the organization, 20% about the employees, and 20% about the relevant non-company information. So the bulk needs to be about the organization. What is the business of a public relations officer? To create the image, maintaining the image, sustaining the image of the business. Companies know more about their employees than any other public. They know their name, the contact information, company's department, etc. So should the employees be very familiar with that kind of detail. They don't know, where do you work? I know, I work. That was not going to fare much, especially when you are going to be introduced to the company. Phases, types of employee communication, job and company orientations, the on-the-job working conditions, rewards, recognitions, and promotions, and the list can go on and on, and you'll find the employee this way, orientation that way. Employee must be told first, must tell the bad news with the good, must be timely with info, and those are the different specific practices of effective employee relations, like we've explained in the previous parts. And now we're running to the end of this consolidation. Special interests, union communications, to keep the employee happy, trustworthy, working, productive. You will always find that only disputes and grievances are lifted with unions. Union contributions are very exceptionally important, but their cases will drop if you have a fully cooperative employee working for you. In summary, employees are an audience like any other, but they different from other audiences because they are more readily identified and targeted. Their informational needs tend to be more complex, and more media are available to reach them. Thank you very much.